Have you ever cut calories, skipped desserts, or tried eating clean, yet the scale still refused to move? Or worse, you gained weight even though you were eating less than before? For millions of women, especially after age 35, this frustrating pattern has nothing to do with willpower or discipline. It has everything to do with one quiet, powerful hormone: insulin. In this video, you'll learn the real reason midlife weight gain happens, why calorie counting stops working, how insulin interacts with estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, and thyroid hormones, and most importantly, how you can naturally bring insulin back into balance. We'll simplify the science, give you real solutions, and help you understand your body in a way that finally makes sense. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and not a replacement of medical professional treatment. What insulin really does in your body. Insulin is not just a blood sugar hormone. It is the chief decision maker that tells your body, burn this food for energy, or store this food as fat. And when insulin stays high, your body chooses fat storage every single time. Insulin's real job: the storage signal. Whenever you eat carbohydrates, bread, rice, pasta, fruit, sweets, even healthy foods like oats or bananas, your body breaks them down into glucose, sugar. Glucose enters your bloodstream, and your pancreas releases insulin to move that sugar into your cells. In a normal insulin response, you eat arrow. Blood sugar rises arrow. Insulin rises arrow. Sugar enters your cells arrow. Insulin falls back to normal. This is how it is supposed to work, but when insulin stays high too often, especially after 35, the entire system shifts. When insulin is high, your body goes into fat storage mode. Insulin's job is to store excess glucose for later use. So, when insulin is elevated, your body stores more fat. Your metabolism slows. You burn fewer calories at rest. You feel hungrier. Cravings increase. Fat gets stored around the stomach, liver, and hips. Weight loss becomes extremely difficult. Insulin is incredibly powerful. If it stays high, your body cannot burn fat, no matter how hard you try. This is why many women say, "I'm eating less but gaining more." It's hormonal, not personal. Why women after 35 are more sensitive to insulin changes. As women enter their late 30s and 40s, two things happen. 1. Progesterone declines. Progesterone helps keep blood sugar stable. Low progesterone equals more cravings plus more insulin spikes. 2. Estrogen fluctuates. Estrogen affects how efficiently your cells respond to insulin. When estrogen is unstable, during PMS, perimenopause, or menopause, insulin sensitivity worsens. This explains why many women suddenly experience weight gain, belly fat, constant hunger, energy crashes, brain fog, irritability after meals. It's not discipline, it's biology. Insulin and appetite. Why high insulin makes you hungry. Insulin doesn't just control fat storage, it controls hunger hormones. Leptin, the hormone that tells you, stop eating. Ghrelin, the hormone that tells you, I'm hungry. When insulin stays high, leptin stops working properly, your brain never gets the message that you're full. This leads to overeating, more cravings, emotional eating, nighttime hunger, constant snacking. This is hormonal hunger, not lack of willpower. Fatigue and low energy are also insulin signals. When insulin spikes, your blood sugar rises quickly, then crashes. This creates mid-morning tiredness, afternoon crashes, craving for sweets or caffeine, irritability, brain fog. Many women think these are normal, but they're early signs of insulin resistance. Insulin isn't the villain, But when it rises too high, too often, your body becomes a fat storage machine. Calories matter, yes, but insulin matters far more for women over 35. Understanding insulin is the first step to unlocking your metabolism again without starvation or strict dieting. Insulin resistance, the hidden cause of midlife weight gain. If you've been gaining weight around your belly, feeling tired after meals, craving sweets, or struggling with brain fog, you're not imagining it. These are early signs of insulin resistance, the real reason weight gain becomes easier and weight loss becomes harder after 35. What is insulin resistance? Simple explanation. Insulin resistance happens when your cells stop responding to insulin's signal. Normally, insulin unlocks your cells so glucose can enter. But with insulin resistance, your cells become deaf to insulin. Here's what your body does in response. Your cells aren't listening. Your pancreas releases more insulin. High insulin forces glucose into storage. Excess gets turned into fat, especially belly fat. This is why insulin resistance leads to weight gain. Even if you're eating normally, your body is stuck in fat storage mode. Where does the fat go? Belly, liver, and hips. When insulin stays high, your body stores fat in the areas with the most insulin receptors, belly, lower stomach, pooch, hips, back of the arms, liver. This type of fat storage is hormonal, not caused by overeating. Many women say, "My shape changed, even though my eating didn't." That's insulin resistance reshaping the body from the inside out. Early warning signs of insulin resistance. Most women have insulin resistance for years before blood tests show an issue. Common early signs include constant hunger, intense sugar or carb cravings, weight gain around the belly, afternoon crashes, feeling tired after meals, brain fog or difficulty focusing, frequent urination, mood swings, darker skin around neck or underarms, irregular periods, symptoms of PCOS, difficulty losing weight. These signals mean your hormones, not your habits, are driving your symptoms. Why cutting calories makes insulin resistance worse. Most women try to fix weight gain with calorie cutting, but if insulin is high, eating less only causes slower metabolism, higher cortisol, stress hormone, more cravings, muscle loss, even higher insulin levels. Your body begins to store even more fat, especially around the belly. This is why dieting feels like punishment with no reward. Why women naturally become more insulin resistant after 40. Starting around age 35 to 40, hormone patterns change in ways that make insulin resistance more likely. 1. Progesterone declines. First, low progesterone equals unstable blood sugar, plus more cravings plus mood changes arrow higher insulin. 2. Estrogen becomes erratic. Estrogen helps cells stay sensitive to insulin, but fluctuating estrogen in perimenopause makes the body less responsive. 3. Stress increases. Life pressures peak in midlife, and cortisol directly blocks insulin sensitivity. 4. Muscle mass declines. Less muscle equals slower metabolism equals higher insulin levels. 5. Thyroid function changes. Even mild thyroid slowdown worsens insulin resistance. This combination is why women say, "My body changed overnight." It didn't, your hormones did. Why insulin resistance is the real roadblock to weight loss. When insulin is high, your body cannot access stored fat. You burn fewer calories at rest. You store more fat even when eating less. Hunger increases. Cravings intensify. Energy drops. Sleep worsens. Stress hormones rise. Every part of weight loss becomes harder. Because you're fighting your hormones, not your habits. Insulin resistance is the silent hormonal shift that makes midlife weight gain feel unfair and unstoppable. It's not lack of discipline, it's a biological change happening inside your cells. Once you lower insulin, weight loss becomes natural, hunger reduces, cravings fade, and your energy returns. The insulin, estrogen, and progesterone connection, the hormone triangle behind weight gain. If you've been gaining weight even while eating healthier, it may not be just insulin. It may be the three-way conversation between insulin, estrogen, and progesterone, a hormonal triangle that controls how your body stores fat, burns energy, and responds to food. Your hormones don't work alone, they influence each other. Women are not metabolic machines. You're a hormonal ecosystem, and insulin is deeply connected to your female hormones. When estrogen or progesterone fluctuates, insulin shifts too. And when insulin rises, it pushes your female hormones out of balance. This interaction explains why weight gain suddenly accelerates in your late 30s and 40s, even if nothing about your lifestyle changed. How estrogen affects insulin. Estrogen helps keep your cells sensitive to insulin. When estrogen is stable, your body uses sugar efficiently and stores less fat. But during PMS, perimenopause, or menopause, estrogen becomes unstable. Some days too high, some days too low, some days spiking randomly. This instability makes your cells more resistant to insulin. So even if you eat the same meal you've always eaten, your body responds differently, with higher insulin release. Result: more belly fat, more cravings, more energy crashes, more difficulty losing weight. Estrogen isn't the enemy. But when it swings wildly, insulin rises as a survival response. Progesterone, your insulin stabilizing hormone. Progesterone is the hormone that keeps insulin calm. It stabilizes blood sugar, reduces cravings, improves sleep, keeps cortisol in check, supports thyroid function, balances estrogen. But starting around age 35, progesterone drops first, long before estrogen declines. This creates relative estrogen dominance, a hormonal state that increases insulin resistance. Low progesterone equals more insulin spikes. This explains why many women experience PMS cravings, nighttime hunger, emotional eating, bloating, midlife weight gain. It isn't a lack of self-control, it's low progesterone driving blood sugar swings. How insulin pushes female hormones out of balance. High insulin affects estrogen and progesterone too. Insulin increases estrogen storage in fat cells, worsening estrogen dominance. Insulin suppresses progesterone production. Insulin disrupts ovulation, creating more hormonal imbalance. Insulin raises androgens, male hormones, contributing to PCOS. Insulin slows thyroid function, further slowing metabolism. This creates a cycle: female hormones shift, insulin rises, fat storage increases, hormones become more imbalanced. Insulin rises even more. A hormonal loop that feeds itself. This is why perimenopause causes weight gain. During perimenopause, progesterone drops, estrogen fluctuates, insulin sensitivity decreases. Thyroid slows slightly. Stress hormones rise. Together, these create the perfect environment for insulin resistance, even if your diet hasn't changed at all. This is why women often say, "My body changed out of nowhere." It didn't. Your hormones changed first. Insulin, estrogen, and progesterone are inseparable. When one shifts, the others react. Weight gain after 35 is rarely just a food issue. It's a hormone communication issue. Once you balance estrogen and progesterone, insulin stabilizes and fat loss becomes achievable again. Stress, cortisol, and insulin, the fat storage duo, you're not paying attention to. You can be eating healthy, walking daily, avoiding sugar, yet still gaining weight. Why? Because stress alone can raise insulin high enough to trigger fat storage, even without overeating. Cortisol, the hormone that overrides every diet. Cortisol is your body's main stress hormone. It rises when you feel rushed, overwhelmed, anxious, emotionally tired, or mentally overloaded. But cortisol doesn't just affect your mood, it directly affects insulin. Here's how. Cortisol tells your liver to release extra glucose sugar. Your blood sugar rises, even if you didn't eat anything. Insulin rises to clean up the extra sugar. Your body is pushed into fat storage mode, especially around the belly. This means stress alone can make you gain weight, even on a calorie deficit. Why stress weight always shows up around the belly. Your abdominal area has the most cortisol receptors. So when cortisol stays high, more fat is stored as visceral belly fat. Your waistline expands. Inflammation increases. Insulin resistance worsens. This is why women under chronic stress often develop a stress belly, firm, bloated, and hard to lose. It's hormonal, not dietary. Stress makes your cells more insulin resistant. Cortisol reduces your cells' sensitivity to insulin. Your cells stop responding to insulin's signal, so your pancreas produces more insulin to compensate. More insulin, more storage, more cravings, more weight gain. This is why stressful periods of life often come with stronger cravings. Increased emotional eating, late-night snacking, binge-restrict patterns, more belly fat. Your body isn't out of control. Your hormones are doing what they were designed to do, protect you in danger. The problem is that modern life triggers this danger signal constantly. Sleep deprivation and insulin, the overnight disaster. One night of poor sleep can reduce insulin sensitivity by up to 40% the next day. This means higher blood sugar, higher insulin, more hunger, worse cravings, more belly fat storage. When you sleep less than 7 hours, your stress hormones stay elevated and your metabolic hormones stop working efficiently. This is why women who sleep 5 to 6 hours nightly often experience stubborn weight, uncontrollable cravings, afternoon fatigue, brain fog, emotional eating patterns. Sleep isn't optional for hormone balance, it's a requirement. The stress-insulin fat loop. Most women get stuck in this cycle. Stress rises, cortisol spikes, blood sugar rises, insulin rises, fat storage increases, cravings intensify, mood drops, more stress, more eating, more insulin, more fat storage. A loop that feeds itself until you break it through lifestyle changes, not extreme diets. Why women are more affected than men. Women's stress systems are more sensitive than men's because progesterone calms cortisol but drops after 35. Estrogen affects stress chemistry and fluctuates in perimenopause. Women carry emotional and caregiving stress differently. Women naturally have lower muscle mass, which affects insulin. This makes women more vulnerable to insulin spikes triggered by stress and poor sleep. You cannot fix insulin without fixing stress. You cannot lose weight while cortisol is high. And you cannot balance hormones if your life constantly feels like survival mode. Lowering stress isn't a luxury, it's metabolic medicine. When cortisol comes down, insulin stabilizes, cravings fade, and your body finally feels safe enough to let go of stored fat. How to lower insulin naturally. Small daily habits, big hormonal results. You don't need crash diets, extreme fasting, or cutting out entire food groups to lower insulin. What you do need is consistency, small daily habits that keep blood sugar stable and give your hormones room to breathe. 1. Build hormone-friendly meals. Protein plus fiber plus healthy fats. The fastest way to lower insulin is to slow down how quickly food breaks into sugar. A balanced plate looks like protein, chicken, eggs, fish, tofu, Greek yogurt. Fiber, vegetables, lentils, beans, chia, flax, oats. Healthy fats, avocado, nuts, seeds, olive oil. Slow carbs, quinoa, sweet potato, whole grains. This combination reduces cravings, prevents sugar spikes, keeps insulin stable, makes you feel full longer. Meals don't need to be perfect, just balanced. 2. Walk after meals, the #1 insulin tool. A 10 to 15-minute walk after eating lowers your blood sugar immediately, without any diet change. Walking after meals helps your muscles soak up glucose, prevents insulin spikes, improves digestion, reduces cravings later in the day. Even slow walking counts. This one habit is worth more than hours at the gym. 3. Choose smart carbohydrates. You don't need to avoid carbs, you simply need to choose the ones that don't raise insulin too fast. Better choices: whole grains, brown rice, oats, quinoa, beans and lentils, vegetables, berries. Carbs to limit, not eliminate: white bread, sugary snacks, pastries, fruit juice, soda, sweet cereals. These spike insulin the fastest. 4. Increase muscle through strength training. Muscle is your insulin sensitivity organ. More muscle equals more glucose absorbed, equals lower insulin. Just 2 to 3 short strength sessions per week can burn more calories at rest, reduce belly fat, stabilize blood sugar, improve metabolism. You don't need heavy weights, even light dumbbells or bodyweight exercises work. 5. Eat at regular times. Stop the all-day snacking. Every time you eat, insulin rises. So if you're grazing all day, insulin stays elevated all day. Instead, eat 2 to 4 real meals. Avoid constant snacking. Allow insulin to fall between meals. This helps your body naturally switch from store mode to burn mode. 6. Sleep, the silent insulin reset button. Even one night of poor sleep increases insulin resistance, raises cortisol, triggers cravings, slows metabolism. Aim for 7 to 8 hours, keep nights calm, and avoid late heavy meals. 7. Consider natural support, with doctor approval. Some options help stabilize blood sugar: magnesium, cinnamon, chromium, omega-3 fats. These aren't magic pills. They support the foundation you build with lifestyle. Lowering insulin is not about restriction, it's about rhythm. When you eat balanced meals, move your body gently, lower stress, sleep deeply, and avoid constant snacking, your insulin naturally settles into a healthier range. And once insulin stabilizes, weight loss becomes easier, cravings fade, and energy finally returns. A daily insulin stabilizing routine, the hormone rhythm that helps you lose weight naturally. You don't need a perfect diet or complicated rules to balance insulin. You need a routine your body can trust. When your day has rhythm, your hormones have stability. And when your hormones feel safe, insulin finally calms down. Morning, the most important window for insulin balance. The first 2 to 3 hours of your day decide how your blood sugar behaves for the next 10 to 12 hours. This is where most women accidentally trigger cravings, fatigue, and high insulin without knowing it. 1. Start with hydration, not coffee. Caffeine on an empty stomach spikes cortisol, raises insulin. Begin with a glass of water, herbal tea, warm lemon water, optional. This wakes your body gently without a stress signal. 2. Get sunlight within 30 minutes of waking. Even 5 minutes of sunlight helps regulate. circadian rhythm, cortisol curve, appetite hormones, blood sugar stability. Light acts like a hormone signal telling your body, you're safe, no stress response needed. 3. Eat a protein-rich breakfast. Never start the day with only carbs, toast, cereal, fruit, tea biscuits. This leads to a blood sugar spike, arrow crash, arrow cravings, arrow overeating, arrow high insulin. Aim for 25 to 35 grams of protein at breakfast. Eggs, Greek yogurt, oats with chia plus nut butter, tofu scramble, protein smoothie. A high-protein breakfast improves insulin sensitivity for the entire day. Midday, keep your blood sugar smooth instead of spiking. Midday is when most women experience energy crashes or reach for sugar or caffeine. These habits spike insulin dramatically. A structured midday rhythm prevents that. 1. Walk 5 to 10 minutes after meals. This is the most effective insulin-lowering habit. It helps your muscles absorb glucose without needing extra insulin. Even slow walking counts. 2. Eat balanced, consistent meals. Skipping lunch, cortisol rises, insulin rises, cravings explode later. Choose meals with protein, vegetables, whole grains/slow carbs, healthy fats. Example, grilled chicken plus vegetables plus brown rice plus olive oil. 3. Build a calm break into your afternoon. A 2 to 3 minute pause lowers cortisol enough to improve insulin sensitivity. Try breathing slowly for 60 seconds, stretching, stepping outside, taking your eyes off screens, small resets, big hormonal shifts. Evening, the hormone recovery window. Most insulin resistance worsens at night because women eat late, stress late, or use screens late. This disrupts sleep, which destabilizes hormones the next day. 1. Eat dinner 2 to 3 hours before bed. Late night eating equals high insulin all night. Arrow morning fatigue plus more cravings. Dinner should be the lightest, calmest meal of your day. Choose simple combinations like baked fish plus vegetables, lentil soup, omelet with greens, grilled tofu plus quinoa. 2. Dim lights 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Darkness increases melatonin, which directly improves insulin sensitivity. Bright lights signal your brain that it's daytime, cortisol rises, insulin rises. 3. Build a relaxing bedtime ritual. Your nervous system must turn off before your hormones can reset. Try magnesium-rich foods, herbal tea, chamomile, lavender, gentle stretching, journaling, reading, prayer, or mindfulness. When cortisol falls at night, insulin follows naturally. 4. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of deep sleep. Sleep is the most powerful insulin regulator. Too little sleep increases insulin resistance the very next day. Protect sleep like you protect your health, because it is your health. Weekly habits that stabilize insulin. These are slow, steady practices that improve hormone sensitivity long-term. 1. Strength training. 2 to 3 times weekly. Muscle acts like a sponge that absorbs glucose with minimal insulin. The more muscle you maintain, the easier it becomes to lose weight at any age. Even squats, lunges, resistance bands, light dumbbells work beautifully. 2. A stress reduction practice. Chronic stress is the biggest insulin driver. Choose one practice you can sustain: yoga, evening walks, journaling, nature time, breath work, a hobby that calms your mind. You don't need to eliminate stress, you just need to regulate it. 3. Prepare. Simple foods. Meal prepping prevents panic eating and wild insulin spikes. Prepare washed vegetables, cooked proteins, pre-portioned nuts, lentils or beans. quinoa, or brown rice. Your future self will thank you. Your hormones don't want perfection, they want predictability. Eating at regular times, sleeping deeply, walking after meals, managing stress, and building small calming rituals are far more effective than strict diets. When your day has rhythm, insulin finally stabilizes. And once insulin is stable, weight loss becomes natural, cravings soften, energy rises, and your entire hormonal system regains harmony. Conclusion: your weight isn't a willpower issue. If you've been blaming yourself for weight gain, cravings, or low energy, it's time to stop. Your body isn't failing, your hormones are signaling. When insulin rises, weight becomes harder to lose. When stress increases, cravings take over. When estrogen and progesterone shift, your metabolism responds. The solution isn't starvation or stricter dieting. It's understanding your hormones, supporting your routine, and calming your nervous system so insulin finally drops to a healthy range. You deserve to feel strong, clear, and in control again, and it starts with giving your body what it needs, not punishing it. If this helped you, please like, subscribe, and share with another woman who needs this clarity. Thanks for watching.